This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.
One of the things that we talk about here a lot is a diet. And you say, well, maybe you don't want to try, cutting back on certain foods and so forth, but it will make a big difference in your life. For instance, there was a group that went to China. And they went from village to village to village. And in each village, they stay about a month or 2 months. And they would show everyone a whole food, plant-based diet. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have meat. It's just plant-based. That you're going to have nuts and seeds and whatever grows. Every fruit, every vegetable, so it gives you a wide variety of things to eat that are whole food, not a part of it. You want the whole food, and it's plant-based. And then if you want to have some fish, you want wild-caught fish. You don't want fish that's been in a small area and fed things you don't even know what has been fed, and they call that farmed fish. And unless you were to take that farmed fish and do it like the Reverend Reverend Beecham, Elijah Beecham. Now he's going to do some tilapia farming, but he is feeding them high-tech food. He's putting them in big ponds where they would naturally just flourish, rather than cooping them up in some little area and feeding them something that you wouldn't want to feed anybody. Well, anyway, that's Prophet Elijah Beecham. That's what he's putting together is growing tilapia. Now that would be the same as wild caught because of the way he's caring for that fish that he's going to be growing. So that's what we're looking for, is a whole food, plant-based diet where you're eating mostly vegetables and fruits and nuts and seeds and whatever grows. And occasionally, if you want some chicken, well, it's got to be organic chicken. If you want some turkey, well, organic turkey. These things and whatever, as it says in the Bible, Leviticus tells us the diet, what is edible and what isn't edible, and what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. And it's a good idea to go by that, and then be using all these. For instance, here is what I did with this plant-based diet. I made it taste like chocolate, vanilla, and cinnamon, and blueberries, and cherries. Now that's got to taste, sound like it tastes good. Certainly sound like it tastes good to me. And when I drink it, I can't hardly. It's so good, I want to have more. But after you have one big 22-ounce mug of that, you can't take any more than that. And so that's where in the afternoons, after I've started my day, with B12 and folic acid drops. And I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and bring this lifestyle changes report over here into a screen capture, because we have all these conference videos that are available under herbalhealthreview.com, and under common conditions you're going to see this report called Make Lifestyle Changes, and it gives you my diet, that I'm drinking about 64 ounces of water. Maybe I'm getting some as soup. Maybe I'm getting some as tea. I'm getting some as just plain water, but and that might have a slice of lemon in it, and it would be water that would be alkaline water, so that I'm driving my body alkaline, because disease loves an acidic body. Cancer feeds on acid. So if you want to feed a cancer, give it some sugar. That is an acid and feeds a cancer. So that's why we have this pure water with minerals, and that's how I start every day. And then I'm having some B12 and folic acid drops to make me mentally strong and to increase my immune system. And those are B12 and folic acid drops. And in this screen capture report that is available, this report as a video will be available next week, and all the reports in the past, I think they're just about caught up with all of those. They're all under herbalhealthreview.com, under Discoveries in Health. Under that tab, you're going to find out all about the different ways to join our broadcast, and to also to be able to enter into the discussion. If you have a question, we welcome your question or your comment. One of the things that I wanted to bring up besides this is, after I talk a little bit about a diet, that whole food plant-based diet, and now you know where it is. It's under herbalhealthreview.com, under common conditions, under Make Lifestyle Changes. And then there's that whole food diet. And then if you want the videos, that's under the tab Discoveries in Health. And then you can join the conference by audio, video, over the telephone, or over your computer. All the information is there. Then all the conference videos are also available. I think there's about 40 of them now. 40 conference videos where I'm doing what I'm doing right now. That is a screen capture. So we have this screen capture. Go ahead.
Dr. Burns.
Yes, go ahead.
I would like to talk about iron deficiency. I'm having issues with, every time I go back to the doctor, my iron is very low. It should be at a 12 or a 14, normally at a 7 or a 6. So I'm trying to figure out what is depleting my iron, and what, other than iron supplements, could I use or possibly eat that'll boost my iron? And not only with my iron, my vitamin D as well.
All right, we're going to switch right now over to dealing with anemia and how we do it. So now I'm going to bring that up in my screen capture. I'm going to take the Google Hangouts, and I'm going to put them over here. And whoops, I'm going to actually close that screen. And then I'm going to bring up that report, putting Google Hangouts over here, and going over here to that Make Lifestyle Changes report that I was explaining, how to be healthy, and just your food alone will keep you disease-free when you know about this particular diet. So that's over there on Herbal Health Review under Make Lifestyle Changes. Be sure and check out that report. But right now, we have a question. And the question is, how do you deal with low iron, with anemia? So I'm going to bring up the anemia report, and I've got it in a screen capture. So I'm looking at that. And And I am bringing this up over here. Okay, there we go. Come on, bring me up over here. Oh, that's okay. So let's talk about anemia. Anemia is a medical condition in which the blood has a deficiency of red blood cells, or the hemoglobin these cells need to carry the oxygen. So it's either a deficiency of red blood cells or hemoglobin. And the symptoms of anemia include weakness, fatigue, dizziness, headaches, and even heart palpitations. And these symptoms result from the body not getting enough oxygen through the bloodstream. In many cases, however, the symptoms are mild or unnoticed. It can become a life-threatening condition if left untreated for a long time. The most common form of anemia is caused by iron deficiency. This can occur either through prolonged blood loss, as through heavy menstrual periods, or slow bleeding ulcers or hemorrhoids, and about 10% of women in their childbearing years are anemic. That's right. 10 out of 100 are anemic in their childbearing years. And the overuse of aspirin or ibuprofen can also cause internal bleeding, which leads to anemia. Other people who are at risk of anemia include smokers, alcoholics, vegetarians, and people over 50. Anemia is often associated with serious illnesses like cancer, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis. Women need to be checked for anemia throughout pregnancy as well, because less common forms of anemia include pernicious anemia, caused by a deficiency of B12 or folic acid, which is why that's one of the first things I'm taking in my mouth is the B12 and folic acid drops, about 3 drops under the tongue. And in this case, if you're anemic, 2 drops 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. And that's going to increase your, that's going to help to get rid of pernicious anemia. Now, and that's also going to make you smarter because that's what B12 does. Now, these components of the B vitamin complex are necessary for the production of red blood cells. So you got to make sure and get lots of B complex. And the problem with B complex is that every time you urinate, out goes the B complex, and you don't have enough B complex. And what you're looking for is every time you urinate, that the urination should be yellow. If it's not yellow, you don't have enough B complex. So you take a B complex vitamin 2 or 3 times a day, and you make sure you're getting the best multiple vitamin in the world, and that is Intramax. Intramax. You have to ask for it. You have to call them up on the telephone, or if you order it online, they'll check with you and they will send it to you. But it's got over 415 all organic, natural herbs, vitamins, nutrients. It's incredible. There's nothing else like it. So that's the best multiple vitamin, and you're getting organic B complex in there. So that would be the best. And then also, because you need that B complex for the production of red blood cells. And the B12 and folic acid should always be taken together. And that's why these drops that I use, and that is listed here in this report, and you can click on the products listed in the report, and it takes you over to the product where you can see it. And it takes you to the betterhealthherbs.com that has all the products. It's my grandchildren, and I don't get anything from the sale of any product. I don't get anything. I don't get a paycheck from them. I only work solely on donation. And a lot of times I do not get a donation because I serve the poor, and I'm never going to quit doing that. So I do need what donations that I do get. I need them, and I appreciate them deeply. Now, as well as the B complex for the production of the red blood cells, and the B12 and folic acid taken together as drops and hold it underneath your tongue. Because anytime you have a liquid you hold underneath your tongue, you're getting 300% more of whatever you're trying to get than if you took it in a capsule or a tablet. But if you took it as an herbal tea, you're only going to get 150% more. As a liquid concentrate under the tongue. Hold it under your tongue for 30 seconds to a minute. It goes right into the bloodstream. You get every bit of it. It's the state-of-the-art delivery system, and it's invented by the Most High. Now, unfortunately, iron is extremely toxic when too much is taken. In many cases, even standard doses can cause an upset stomach or constipation. So that's when you know if you've got an upset stomach or constipation when you're taking iron, you're getting too much. And it also, the iron interferes with the absorption of essential trace minerals when you get too much. So you don't want it. So too much is not a good idea. Okay, just because you need some doesn't mean you need to flood the body with it. You're going to take it as directed on the label, and making sure you're getting the B12 and folic acid, so people with an inherited disorder of anemia, that's called hemochromatosis. These people have to be particularly careful with iron supplements, especially the ones you get from medical doctors, because they're not using a natural iron. They have the thought process. We're getting a little bit of. There we go. That's cleared up again. And then we're back again with that. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Okay, we had an echo and coming out of Oklahoma, and so I had to mute the mic there. It's okay now, and there we go. So what we're talking about here is that if you're using iron from a railroad track, which the medical establishment doesn't discern any difference from. They think chemicals are the same they think chemicals are recognized by and used by the body. They are not. They're recognized and they're tolerated for a short period of time. Then they cause you a side effect. And do not take their iron. It does cause constipation. We're going to tell you about a natural iron here in just a minute. Now, for these reasons, herbs are a much better alternative. Herbs are combined with more modest doses of iron. And nutritionists and herbalists feel that blood-nourishing herbs aid in the absorption of iron as well as providing other benefits to the blood. And with lower doses of iron, the unpleasant side effects can be avoided. So, one of the most widely recommended herbs for anemia is yellow dock. Yellow dock, that herb is, it's a common roadside herb, weed, but don't buy it. Don't ever pick it from the roadside. You always want to, people that grow any kind of plants to where they're along the road and all that traffic and soot is getting on those plants, never buy those. I never buy those. I'll look for herbs that have been grown either organic, wild crafted, that have been cared for, or out, that are naturally growing without any pesticides or anything on them. But anyway, so we're using Yellow Dock, which is 40% natural iron in Yellow Dock, and it's found to be effective in raising iron levels. And many people with anemia have surprised their doctors when they reported their good results came from this simple plant. And some have been able to raise their hemoglobin count in a few weeks with Yellow Dock, and then discontinue the use of the herb. It's available in tincture form as well as capsules. Tinctures are the state-of-the-art delivery. You're going to get more from it because it's a liquid, and when it goes in your mouth, it's going to go directly in the bloodstream. If you take a capsule, it's going to have to go down into the stomach and then be digested in the stomach, and you're not going to get as much of it. So that's why the tincture liquid extracts are the state-of-the-art delivery system, although capsules are for people who want capsules. Now, the best way to use it is, of course, in the tincture, because it absorbs 250 to 300 times faster than when taken in a capsule. And this herb, Yellow Dock, can have the side effects of causing diarrhea if the dosage is too high. So you'll know if the dosage is too high, you'll start getting diarrhea. Another herb useful in the treatment of anemia is stinging nettle, and also called nettle leaf. And it can be obtained as a bulk dried herb or the liquid tincture extract or capsule, from the people at Health and Herbs, betterhealthherbs.com. And their telephone number, if you want any of these products that we're talking about here, if you want to know that telephone number for Health and Herbs in Albany, Oregon, to where all these products are available that we're talking about here on this broadcast, you can call them at 541-791-8400. That's 541-791-8400. And you can call them 541-791-8400, or you can go on the website betterhealthherbs.com, and you can get any of these products. And when you click on the products in this report, it takes you over to their website where you can see the product. So the nettle leaf is a good idea. There are a few sources suggest that nettle shouldn't be used in pregnancy. Many midwives use it with their patients and get good results. So I would be cautious with nettle, and if there's pregnancy, and make sure that it agrees with you. And as well, nettle is often combined with quercetin to get rid of allergies. Quercetin, nettle plus, and red raspberry leaf and oat straw. Well, those kinds of things get rid of allergies and also enrich your blood. And anise seeds, anise, A-N-I-S-E, seed, seems to improve results as well. Dandelion and barberry bark are often used in combinations of herbs to treat anemia. They work by increasing the body's ability to absorb iron from food. And there's an anemia relief formula. And I'm going to click on that formula, and it takes me over to betterhealthherbs.com, and that's formula for anemia is number 1015. And it's called, and now the number now on it, now has a new name. It has the name on it because the FDA makes us continually change the names. We have changed the names no less than 12 or 14 times. They do not want you to get any idea what these products are for, so it's easy. It's better to kind of remember the number 1015. You can put that in the quick find box because the new name as of today is Plasmania, Plasmania, and that formula has yellow dock root, dandelion root, barberry leaf root, alfalfa leaf, myrrh gum. It has kelp with all the minerals in it, a seaweed, and that's it. So that is a formula against anemia, and you'd start with somewhere, if you are very sensitive to everything, start with 6 drops under the tongue, 2 or 3 times a day. You can increase it up to as much as 30 drops 3 times a day. If you're not seeing results within a day or 2, start increasing the dosage from 6 drops to 12 drops to 15 drops on up to 30 drops 3 times a day. And that will really work with an anemia problem. Now, there's a few other things we can do. That's the anemia relief. It's a combination of yellow dock, dandelion root, and barberry bark, and parsley herb, and alfalfa, and myrrh, and kelp. And the alfalfa is a plant that is very nourishing to the body. And it's often included in combinations of herbs designed to build up the blood. And alfalfa the doses are usually large because it's more like a food than a medicine. And alfalfa is just a super food. That's why we put it in our super green food formula, where you're getting the chlorella, spirulina, barley grass, wheatgrass, and alfalfa leaf and alfalfa root in there. Yes, so it's all in that. Then, there's it's in the Truman Super Green Food Formula, number 4845. And the anemia formula, relief formula, is number 1015. And then there's Dong Quai. Well, let's talk a minute about that Super Green Foods. I have it every day in my smoothie. I have a big tablespoon of it, and it's really nourishing, and it will increase your stamina and endurance. Now then, besides the super green foods, then there's Dong Quai. Dong Quai is a Chinese herb that has been reported to help in the treatment of anemia because it's high in B12. There's a lot of B12 in it, and which it is a blood tonic. Dong Quai is a blood tonic for women and a digestive stimulant. It helps the digestion. Dong Quai has been shown to assist the body in efficiently using hormones, and many other herbs have been used down through the ages to treat tired blood. But usually they are used in combination with the ones that we mentioned previously. And herbs are usually the most effective when taken throughout the day instead of 1 or 2 large doses. You want to spread it out. It's called a periodic dose. You want to spread it out to 2 or 3 times a day. That's working with the body. You can't just take it all at one time and say that's all you get, because that's not the way the body works. It would like it, and it would like it in 2 or 3 doses. Teas, when you're taking an herbal tea, are one of the best methods to extract the healing properties of herbs. So if you're not going to take an herbal tincture extract, then an herbal tea is going to break it down, and you're going to get a lot from it when you make an herbal tea. Herbalists, like myself, differ in their recommendations for brewing teas, but in general, a cup of medicinal tea can be made by pouring boiling water over a teaspoon or more of the herb and steeping it for 5 to 10 minutes, and you got an herbal tea. It's good to cover the cup with a saucer in order to keep the volatile oils from evaporating and going off into the air, because they will. So I would put a lid over my water, over my tea. Always got a lid over it. Okay, and so as a matter of fact, I'm going to drink some of that water. Needed that. Now, the best tea to drink every morning. We made a tea called Daily Health Tea because you should drink it every day. And this tea builds and cleans the blood and boosts the immune system. Okay? So we're talking about how to get rid of anemia, how to boost up the immune system, how to build the blood. So that Daily Health Tea is a blood builder. And since the dosage needs to be repeated frequently, many people prefer to take their herbs in the form of a tincture or a capsule. And so if you're having a cup of herbal tea, you can put a little squirt of whatever herbs you want to all in one cup of tea, combining them all together and have a cup of herbal tea. That works very well. And Atlanta's mic keeps getting unmuted, and then I'm able to hear everything that they're saying in Atlanta. But if you do want your mic unmuted, if you have a question or a comment in Atlanta, go ahead and make that question or comment now. Yeah, hello. Do you have a question or a comment there in Atlanta?
Yes.
And what is your question or comment?
Oh, she said she heard that she had to make away to the ladies on that quick.
I'm sorry, she said what?
We heard what she was saying.
Okay.
We heard what she was saying.
Okay, great.
Ordering some of the products.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to mute your mic so that we don't get an echo or hear any talking in the background. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, brother. So we're talking. So we've muted that mic again, and it keeps unmuting. But I've muted it 5 times, and I don't know how it keeps getting unmuted. But anyway, it does. So we talked about tinctures, and we talked about teas, and you know that the extracts. The herbs that have been soaked in high proof alcohol that extends the herb into a concentrated form, and then we dilute that down to where you're not getting a lot of alcohol. And these herbal tincture extracts are available in a very low alcohol, or they're available in a glycerite. And so if you don't want an alcohol tincture, they are available. They will do that for you at betterhealthherbs.com. And their phone number again, 541-791-8400 for any of the products we're talking about. So, anyway, yes, you can avoid alcohol formulas. Just if you want a glycerine formula, you can call them 541-791-8400, and they'll make sure you get exactly what you want. Anyway, tinctures are useful for people who have trouble swallowing capsules. The dosage of an herb capsules usually are in the range of 3 to 6 capsules 3 times a day. But with that's a lot of pill swallowing. And again, better results are often obtained with smaller doses more frequently, with a little liquid underneath the tongue. In every 2 hours of the tincture, and sometimes more, often until the situation is under control. If you've got a real problem going on there, you can keep dosing yourself and until you get to the other side of it, and then you will only need to dose yourself a very small amount, 2 or 3 times a day. Yes, hello.
You all right?
I hear you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't think that.
All right, Grandma. That's me cooking something.
Okay, so we are
Meet up, waiting for you to come back.
Okay, I'm getting an open mic, and I am going to close that open mic out so the people in San Francisco or Sacramento can talk, and while I'm talking. And so now, Now we know that you're going to have to take 3 to 6 capsules 3 times a day in order to get the same kind of dosage you're getting from 15 to 30 drops 3 times a day, or even less, of a tincture. And you may have to take it every 2 hours. And one more natural remedy for anemia that should be mentioned is a plant derived through, though it's not exactly an herb. And that is, well, it's an herb because it's liquid chlorophyll, which comes from a plant. So it makes it an herb. Liquid chlorophyll, which will deodorize your body. Anybody with bad breath, or, if you can, when they're talking and they got a bad breath, liquid chlorophyll, taking that, it's been used to raise the hemoglobin levels in a hurry. And it's safe to use during pregnancy. And it deodorizes your digestive tract so that you have a pleasant breath. Then if you've got something going on with the teeth, then you need to look at the teeth protocol here on herbalhealthreview.com. Click on teeth, and so that you never have to go back to a dentist again. And you will have the cleanest, shiniest, slickest teeth, the whitest teeth you ever could imagine when you click on the teeth report. But anyway, liquid chlorophyll has been used to raise the hemoglobin levels in a hurry, and herbs can be helpful in the treatment of anemia, including iron-rich foods such as blackstrap molasses is loaded with iron and all kinds of other minerals, legumes, leafy greens, and well-cooked small amounts of red meat are loaded with iron. And so we want, and with red meat, we want to not have very much red meat in the diet, and it must be well cooked if you're going to have it. But it must not be cooked to where there's charcoal or burned parts on it, because those are called AGEs. And Sister Kashakia has been warning us over and over about the AGEs and all the diseases that burnt food, burnt toast, and so forth is causing disease. So anyway, herbs can be helpful in the treatment of anemia. And all this iron-rich food and so forth in the diet. And it shouldn't be overlooked when you're managing anemia to, make sure you're getting lots of legumes and leafy greens and maybe a little blackstrap molasses and so forth. It's also helpful to use iron cookware. So there we go. We've really talked a great deal. And it's always recommended to do a total detox before starting on herbs so that your body can get rid of excess toxins and absorb herbs better. And you can find out more about that in the Make Lifestyle Changes report when it's talking about how to use the number 1078 colon and liver cleansing liquid unless there is constipation. If there's constipation, get the herbal tea called CAC. That's like Charlie, Apple Charlie. CAC herbal tea that will get rid of constipation and regulate the bowel movements. And there's a gland rejuvenator. If the blood sugars are in trouble, or you've got a problem with the lymphatic system, or the spleen, or the pancreas, or the thyroid, the pituitary, any of these glands, there is a gland rejuvenator to get those glands going. And there's a detoxifier system, again. And there's also, if we got a serious problem going on, there's always the CF can-free that is all of the anti-cancer herbs combined together. And what a force to be reckoned with that is, because it attacks cancers. And it's called CF. And that is a formula with multiple cancer formulas and single herbs in that. And that will detox you. And again, that daily health tea. And if you want to sweeten it with a little stevia. That's the natural sweetener. Or xylitol, which will also remineralize and harden your teeth. and help to get rid of any kind of teeth problems. You'll find out more about that in the teeth report on how to not have to go to your dentist anymore. But that's it. That is the report on anemia and the blood builder formula number 1015. So that's what we were talking about. Now let's go back over here to Google Hangouts and put that back into the screen capture. And does anybody have a comment or a question? Press the star key 2 times on your telephone, and then you can ask a question. It will unmute your mic. If you want to unmute your microphone and ask a question or make a comment or a suggestion, now's the time to do it. Press your star key 2 times. Nobody pressing the star key. Okay. All right. That means there is Dallas. There is Sister Kashakia. She's getting ready for the top of the hour. Are you there, Sister Kashakia? Not yet. Okay. We will wait for Sister Kashakia. And while we're waiting, I got an email yesterday. And really, it did my heart well. I love all these emails that I get.
Dr. Truman?
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to mute this phone. I had to get a new phone. I'm trying to figure out how to unmute it, but I'm here. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. You are unmuted. And are you ready to talk about our topic today?
Yes, I am. Give me about 60 seconds. I apologize. I'm kind of winding up for another engagement probably right after this, but give me about 60 seconds, and I'm trying to get all of my paperwork near me because I've got to get close to a charger because I'm about to be out. And
Okay.
I don't want to get into a conversation and then start talking and then stuff starts hanging up.
I understand. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to
How have you been?
while you're getting ready there, I'm going to go ahead and talk about an email that I just received.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'm ready.
You are ready now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, after Sister Kashakia talks about her topic, then I'm going to tell you about an email I got from a fellow who had diabetes and it cleared up, and he went to his doctor and got all these tests, and they said, you don't have diabetes anymore. So anyway, we'll talk about that email after Sister Kashakia's presentation.